Behold, my secret weapon. This Nissan kick was kicked in the butt. And since my favorite frame rack is being held hostage by the slowest technician that ever lived, that wasn't gonna be a challenge for the greatest technician that ever lived. And since I only had a few pulls to make, I had to get this over with. And if you're looking for a half-inch socket set, I found this off of TikTok. And boo-hoo, if you don't want to buy a socket set, don't buy it. Please, don't buy anything I promote if you don't need it. If you need it, I'm trying to save you money here. This set is around $90. If you buy this from any good company, you're going to be spending at least twice or triple the amount you're going to pay here. It does come with 4 extensions, 3 adapters, and a swivel, and a ratchet, so you can actually get to the bolt wherever it is. I wish the TikTok shop had more tools to offer for auto body technicians, but we don't have that big of a category when it comes to auto body tools and equipment. But they do have this hammer set, which is pretty good for the amount you're paying. Now back to getting some few pulls in. As you see here, I had to cut an access hole so I can attach this clamp that I got off of Amazon. You can also find it on Amazon. I don't have a link for it, but you can look up 90-degree frame pulling clamps and you will find something similar. But my favorite tool of all time is a good 2x4, because when it comes to doing what I'm doing right now, it's hard to use any other tool because any chisel is going to do more damage than good. So, a 2x4 it is. And this is the last pull I had to do on this frame rack, and I had to get off this dreadful thing before I started dinging my shins. And if you're anything like me, you don't want to pay $400 for a seat. And if I learned anything good from the last job I had, was that they gave these seats out for anyone that worked there, and it's really good. I was looking for one off of Amazon, and they were $120 and maybe even a little bit more. And right after I bought it, I found it on TikTok. Viver, they got their hands on it, and now they're selling it for $30, actually $40 less than Amazon somehow. If you want a seat, you should get this seat. And now I got the kick off the rack and on some stands. And remember, you gotta mask before you start welding, grinding, or cleaning. And if you're sick and tired of your old welding blankets, they sell this at Harbor Freight. This is 8 feet by 8 feet, and they sold it for around $30, $40. And another good practice that I learned along the way is mark all the spot welds that you need to file down. And remember how many spot welds are here, because that's important for later. And one more good practice is to ask for a procedure when doing anything like this. And then my manager came back with this because Nissan apparently doesn't have anything for it because this is a 2024 Nissan Kick. And that was no challenge for the greatest technician that ever lived. Because when you pay attention to what you're doing, you can actually notice what they did, what the factory did, and what you can actually just mimic, and you'll be fine. This rear body panel is pretty easy because all I had to do is re-spot weld it in, and that was silicone bronze, so I had to MIG braze those areas. And just my luck, both of my belt sanders, the bushings on the ends got ruined, so I had to use an old school grinding disc. Which is not the worst thing in the world, but a belt sander saves you a lot of time. Something I learned along the way, that there isn't only one tool to do the job correctly. There should always be another tool in your toolbox. Like, if you don't have a belt sander, you have another tool that does the job. Not quite the same, but you can also get the job done with any other tool that you have. Me saying that doesn't mean that you should have 3 belt sanders, 4 cutting wheels, whatever. You don't need the same tool. You should have different tools that could do different things, and they can alternate between one another, so you don't get stuck. Just because both of my belt sanders went bad on the same job at the same time, that doesn't mean that I'm gonna drop everything I'm doing and just do something else. You have to always improvise. Now, when it comes to repairing floor pans, a lot of times you can't get the insurance to pay you to replace it. But if you are going to repair it, you have to restore all of these crumple zones, because that is a requirement to ensure that it's gonna crumple the next time it gets into a wreck. This step is called dry fitting. So you just put the panel on and see how it looks, especially when you're repairing a panel. You should always test it, make sure that everything is looking okay or close to okay, so you can proceed and know that what you're doing is right. And if you went wrong somewhere, you can respond accordingly. And something I noticed on this car, and I don't know if you guys noticed or not, but all the seam sealer on the corners and all the sound deadening pad in the bottom, there's nothing that was put on even nicely looking. Everything was just smeared on and whatever. So, and the sound deadening pad was barely 2 inches away from the rear body panel. I don't see any problem with extending it an inch more and smearing on more seam sealer just the way they did. an inch further and closing off the whole area without using any kind of body filler or anything of that matter. And dry fitting a panel on is not just a one-step thing. You have to do it over and over and over and over and over and over and over. Honestly, that do be happening sometimes because dry fitting takes a lot of time sometimes, especially when you're repairing an adjacent panel. I wish I can recommend you guys get that kind of spot welder, but I wouldn't wish that on my worst enemy because that damn thing with this big clamp weighs around 50 pounds. And this is like the first time I've ever used this spot welder with this big clamp, and the lift that comes with it. It's a weight canceling thing. This is the first time it ever worked. And that's the first spot weld I did that blew a hole through. And because I did not realize that the last person that used it set it up to full strength technically. So I had to turn it down to 0.24, which is the thickness of the two pieces of metal combined. And then I kept going. Spot welding is not the best part of this job. It's not my favorite part of this job. And if there's anything that AI can take over from our trade is a robot that they did showcase in SEMA. I don't know if that's going to actually be something that body shops can afford per se, but if there is something like that, I would love to see an AI take this part of the job over. Or at least a machined something that can control all of this and just do all of these spot welds, because that just kills the back, especially with this clamp. Because the clamp itself, I know it's aluminum, it's supposed to be lightweight, but that is not the case because the clamp itself is around 25 pounds. I have a scale at work and I weighed this because I've been over this with my manager and I told him this thing is so damn fucking heavy. And this winch that it comes with, this weight canceling thing, does not always work. And especially if you're working on rear body panels on the sedans, you can't really get the upper part of it. It doesn't really work. It only works when you're working with the smaller clamps, when you're doing something on the outside, maybe like a quarter panel or something of that matter. If you're working on a roof, if you're doing on a bigger vehicle, this thing will just kill your back because it has before. And whenever I use this, usually when I get home after work, I would just spend a few hours with the kids, just maybe an hour or two with the kids, and I will just fall asleep in the living room on the couch because there's no more energy. I can't just go to sleep after using this. I can't just wait till my regular bedtime to use it, to go to bed, because this thing is so damn heavy and it just kills my energy. And I try to do this at the end of the day, so I can, I know that I'm going to go home right after. And this is the moment I realized that someone fucked up and this machine overheated because no one ever added water to it. And before you start talking about maybe it takes coolant, maybe it takes some kind of other liquid, it says on the machine in the little circle, the black thing right there, that's a cap that says H2O. If you don't know what that means, that's just straight up water. And it was low, and it took like 15 minutes for it to cool down. And at this point, it was already 4:23 when I was shooting this part of the video. And I was so excited that I wanted to get this over with because the rear body panel on these pays 12 hours. The floor pan pays 8.5 to repair it. The right-hand quarter panel had damage, which I wrote 3 hours to repair it. Any adjacent panel that I repaired, the taillight pockets on both sides, the left-hand quarter panel got, I think, an hour or two. So in total, this job paid over 40 hours, and I got it done in one day. And that's a little oopsie-daisy right there that I have to plug weld later on. It is not 100% done. Yes, I still need maybe a few hours left in it, and it will be complete.